Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, wherever we are. So today we're going to have a look at nominal versus effective interest rates. And the first couple of things we need to go through is a couple of terms. So the nominal rate is the standard rate that you'd be quoted per annum. So if it says 6.8% per annum, that's your nominal rate. The other thing we need to know or understand is that there are compounding periods. So this is where interest is calculated over a term other than really a year. If the compounding period is a year, then you've got a nominal rate anyway. So if the compounding period is calculated at a different on a different period, it might be calculated monthly. You may have bank accounts where it's calculated daily, calculated monthly, weekly, etc. Okay, so we've got nominal rates and then compounding periods. As the title suggests, we need to work out the difference between what a nominal rate gives us, a nominal rate of interest, versus an effective interest rate. To do that, first we need to know what the compounding rate is. Now this is linked to the compounding period. So to go from a nominal rate to a compounding rate, if we use the nominal rate of 3.6% as a nominal rate, so that would be per annum, we can calculate the rate both monthly could do it fortnightly, and quarterly, for example. Alright, so to find the monthly rate, if our nominal rate is 3.6%, our monthly rate is going to be that, so 3.6 divided by 12, and we'll get a compounding rate.
Please excuse the interruption. Year 8 girl.
Okay, just had to pause there to get rid of that announcement as it came through. Hope you got the start of it. So our compounding rate, if we have a 3.6% nominal rate, then our compounding rate is 3.6 divided by 12. So there's 12 months in the year. Okay, so we get a compounding rate of 0.3%. If we are compounding fortnightly, we'll take 3.6% divided by 26. Okay, there's 26 fortnights in a year, and that'll give us the figure, or a compounding rate of 0.138, 3 decimal places, percent. Alright, and then quarterly, if we look at quarterly, we have same again, 3.6%. And there's 4 quarters in a year, so we end up with 0.9% a quarter. So those rates are what's applied at each period. So every month you'll have 0.3% applied as a compounding rate, and that all adds up at the end of the year to a nominal rate of 3.6%. Okay, so hopefully that's all good there. So we've got 12 months in a year, so if you're working out monthly, divided by how many months are in a year. If you're working it out fortnightly, divided by how many fortnights are in a year, and then obviously same for quarters, there's 4 quarters in a year, so divide that there. So next up we look at effective interest rates. So because if we're compounding on a monthly or a fortnightly basis, we're going to end up with a greater amount of money, for instance, at the end of the period compared to if we compounded yearly. Okay? Because every time we compound, it's compounding on that previous, whatever we've added from the previous period. Okay? So the nominal rate per annum will actually be less than the effective interest rate. Okay? So we might have, for instance, if we talk about, let's use 4.8%. If we have 4.8% as a nominal rate per annum, and we pay something quarterly, then we're going to end up with an interest rate greater than 4.8%, or it'll end up being greater than 4.8% at the end of the year. And so we'll draw a table to make sense of this. Okay, so here's our table, and explaining this, we look at, if at the top, this is our month over a year. So in the first month, everyone, we invest $5,000. Same for everyone. This is our 4.8% per annum. And this is going to be our rate that's 4.8%, but it's going to be calculated quarterly. So what that's going to end up being is 1.2% per quarter. Okay. So for the $5,000, at the end of that, if we calculate 4.8% on top of that, we're going to end up with $5,240. But because we calculate it quarterly for our other rate, we're going to start off with $5,000. After 3 months, that's going to grow to $5,060. Then it's going to grow from there. In 6 months, it's going to be $5,120. There are some cents involved in this, but for the sake of keeping it clear on the screen, I'll leave them off. After that, after 9 months, we get $5,182. And then finally, after 12 months, so we've applied the interest 4 times, after 12 months we get $5,244. So you can see from that in the first example we've made $240 in interest. And the second example, we've made $244, and if we take the cents into account, we've got 35 cents there as well. All right. So to then calculate the effective interest rate, the effective rate on that, so a yearly effective rate is going to be equal to 240 over 5,000, so our principal times 100, which all equals 4.80%, as we started with. Our quarterly effective rate is going to be 244 and 35 cents over 5,000 times 100, and if we work that out, it comes to an effective rate of 4.89%. So you can see that the more often we compound it, so if we took that and took it to a weekly compound, that would again go up higher than 4.89 as an effective rate. Now, instead of having to go through the whole table process, what we can do is we have a rule for this. So R, call it R effective, bit scribbly, R effective is equal to this, and I'll just draw it rather than trying to describe it. So that's R 1 plus R over N, all divided by 100, bracket to the power of N, minus 1, and that's all times by 100%. Alrighty, so in that, R is your nominal interest rate, so what you get quoted per annum. R effective is the effective annual interest rate, and N is the times interest is compounded in, or per, I'll say, per year. Okay, so for instance, if it's calculated monthly, then N is going to be equal to 12. It's just 12 months in a year. So hopefully that builds our understanding about nominal rates, the compounding periods, and what an effective interest rate is compared to a nominal rate, depending on the compounding period. Okay, any questions, pop them in the comments and stuff, like the video, etc., so I can get some more coverage, because we all know that it's all about likes on YouTube. Have a good day. Cheers, guys.